But if you want to be a star in dirt track racing, if you want to be viewed as a elite rostered driver, you just get into these race cars and you fucking win. That's all you got to do. You can't falsify success in our sport. You can't do it. You can falsify it over there. Kyle Larson's the greatest example that falsified even in a result. You can falsify results. You can falsify stardoms. Because Kyle Larson, 6 years in the Ganassi 42 car, he had 6 wins. Some people were questioning his talent in NASCAR. Obviously said the N-word, had his year in dirt, came back, got into a Hendrick ride, and dominated the fucking season and has been one of the most dominant drivers week in and week out, whether he has an issue on the track or overdrives the car or something breaks. Kyle Larson has been one of the most dominant drivers in NASCAR ever since he's got into that Hendrick car. Now, what happened since the Ganassi years to the Hendrick car, driver-wise, talent-wise? I'm here to tell you, no matter what these analytical idiots don't understand or want to say, nothing fucking changed. Kyle Larson's talent did not increase after he said the N-word and went and won some dirt races. The race car changed. That's what changed for Kyle Larson. Why did Kyle Busch go all of a sudden from winning all these races to field filling himself most of the time? Because he went from a Joe Gibbs ride to a Richard Childress ride. It's that fucking simple. Why did Kyle Larson go from a Ganassi 6 wins in 6 years to one of the most dominant drivers on the tour? Because he went from a fucking Chip Ganassi ride to a Rick Hendrick ride. There's a gap there. There's a huge gap as far as equipment is concerned. The talent ain't changing there. The cars are. So you could falsify success. Because for 6 fucking years, you had a lot of other people winning races and outrunning Kyle Larson that talent-wise couldn't, but equipment-wise they could. So even though these other drivers weren't technically better, you could falsify that result because of the equipment on an asphalt surface that is needed to succeed. Now, when you jump over into these dirt vehicles, Kyle Busch, Kyle Larson, whatever Kyle you got, what Kyle Petty, I don't give a damn, Cole Trickle, whatever. You jump into these dirt race cars and you got 900 motherfucking horsepower at your feet, not a midget. When you jump into a sprint car with 900 fucking horsepower at your foot, or a super fucking late model with 900 horsepower at your foot, which Kyle Busch, by the way, got lapped twice in his last dirt super late model race. That was the last time we saw him on a national stage in dirt track racing. It was the race at Volunteer Speedway on the week. It was the flow racing event on the week of the Bristol dirt race, and he got a provisional to even be in the race. He was driving a Brandon Overton team car, and he got lapped twice in the main event. Twice. So when you jump into a 900 horsepower sprint car where our elitists are, our guys who have won their way, they ain't falsified their stardom, they have won it. They've earned it. It's the big difference between asphalt and dirt. You earn your stardom on the dirt tracks. You don't earn it over there. You could falsify it. For 6 years with Kyle Larson, you did. So on dirt, though, you can't falsify it. You put 900 horsepower at your foot and these super late models and these sprint cars, and you want to go out there and fuck around, you're going to find out where you land, how good you actually are. You can't falsify that talent, buddy. You can't get somebody with less equipment than you will drive the fuck around you if you can't drive. Over there, they got their NASCAR next-gen cars with Nerf motors and all the wide tires and setups and variances of equipment that are seconds on the fucking track for 500 miles. They can't make that shit up. On the dirt track in 30 laps, though, slick racetrack, 900 horsepower sprint car, 130, 140 on the fucking fence, buddy, they can make it up. So that's my premise to this NASCAR to dirt racing situation. I just wanted to lay this out for y'all since I'm going to be talking about Kyle Busch today, which in my opinion, as I've already stated in my previous video, when I was critical of Kyle Busch at the Chili Bowl, which we're going to talk about that, I said Kyle Busch is one of the greatest asphalt drivers we've ever seen, period. The era that Kyle Busch came up in this asphalt world where you come up through the asphalt world and you're whooping ass locally and regionally and you move up this ladder, yeah, you had to have a little financial support. Today, it's all about financials. But the asphalt superstars, the some bitches who whoop ass on asphalt short track regional levels, they're dangerous. These are some of the best race car drivers in the world. Just like I say that for dirt racing, although we have our own fandom, the asphalt short track world has no fandom. So the superstars of so what I'm saying is, like, if you're growing up as a dirt track person and you're stuck on the local, regional, or national series racing, you can become a little bit of a star. You know, there'll be 40 or 50,000 people to show up to watch you race and pay tickets, and you'll be paid well and you'll become a star in the dirt racing industry. In the asphalt racing world, if you come up and you're an asphalt fan and that's what you wanted to do your entire life, and I don't really like dirt, I grew up on asphalt, the Kyle Busch era was like the end for real asphalt stars, talent-wise, not money-wise. Because the asphalt, there's so many. I'll say this right now. I know I'm pushing up dirt and pushing down NASCAR Cup racing, but the stars are or how about this? The best racers on dirt are where they belong in dirt racing. Because, like I said, to be a star on dirt, you just fucking win races. You just perform. You let your talent show it, and you will succeed. Whereas the stars of the talent of asphalt racing is snubbed. Okay? Because the talent of asphalt racing in that little area world, the pinnacle isn't the world of outlaws. That's not where the fans go over there. The pinnacle isn't the late models or Lucas Oil or any of these things. The pinnacle of the asphalt racing industry is NASCAR Cup racing. And if you do not obtain that level, you don't receive the stardom. So due to the monetary system of asphalt racing, the actual talent is snubbed. So there's probably plenty of Kyle Busches out there in the world that are actually some really badass race car drivers. But they're stuck running a 604 late model somewhere on an asphalt track. They're stuck running wheeling modifieds. They're stuck running super late or super modifieds. They're stuck running asphalt sprint cars. They're stuck running where their budget runs out. Kyle Busch is good because he's fucking good. Because he's one of the best. He's one of the last drivers from the asphalt racing industry to actually make it on talent. Now, I would love to see him get into the big leagues of the competition department in this motorsports world. I would love to see how Kyle Busch would stack up against the best drivers in the world. And that would be in the dirt track racing industry, for the record. Not the richest, not the most paid, not the daddies with the monies that Timmy's paid for and got to where they are, but the fucking best, the ones who whooped ass and got to where they are. Not the ones that paid a check and got to ride the elevator to the top floor. The number one guy out of the NASCAR roster who could maybe contend and learn how to win a dirt race might be the greatest asphalt driver we've ever seen, known as Kyle Busch.